thanks for bringing that up, because she reminds me of this clip of Donald Trump. The clip of Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson, where he explains that Tucker Carlson is explaining what you're getting ready to do with this. I believe here in this context, they're not talking about the budget so much as the American Health Care Act. What they're getting ready to do is going to hurt his voters. And this is how Donald Trump responded to it. You actually have to listen very closely because he says it very quickly, but it's almost unbelievable. Listen to this exchange.
This bill has as one of its centerpieces a tax cut for investors that would primarily benefit people making over $250,000 a year. Already done pretty well in the past 10 years, as you know.
Yeah.
A Bloomberg analysis showed that counties that voted for you, middle class and working class counties, would do far less well under this bill than the counties that voted for Hillary, the more affluent counties.
Yeah, I know that.
It seems like maybe this isn't consistent with the message of the last election.
No, a lot of things aren't consistent, but these are going to be negotiated. We've got to go to the Senate. We're going to see what happens in the Senate. Now, right now, we have 5 or 6.
Okay, that's it. I mean, okay, so he said 2 things there. Tucker Carlson says, according to a report, an analysis by Bloomberg, this is going to hurt the counties that voted for you the most, Donald Trump. And he says, oh, I know that. Now, mind you, I don't think he knows that. I think he's just saying that so he doesn't look as though the reporter he's interviewing with actually knows more than him. But he went ahead and said, oh, I know that, which means that it's not significant enough to him upon hearing this. Even if he's hearing this for the first time, the fact that what his bill is going to do is going to hurt his voters doesn't resonate enough with him to actually give him pause, but rather he runs right through it and says, oh, I know that. Then the second thing he says is that there are a lot of inconsistencies. Tucker Carlson said, isn't that inconsistent with the promises of the campaign? Oh, there's a lot of inconsistencies. Really? But here's the thing. The people, Donald Trump has this leverage because the people that support him, they love this. They eat this stuff up. They're eating this up because there's a great divide. Like, a lot of people made it seem like it was only poor people voting for Donald Trump. No, it's far from the truth. You have a lot of entitled rich people who voted for Donald Trump. And for them, they're not going to be bothered by many of the changes at all. I mean, if you make over 6 figures a year, $150,000 to $200,000 a year, not much Donald Trump is going to do, say, short of crashing the entire economy, is really going to affect you. In fact, it might help you because you're going to get a tax cut. And take a pause. Anyway, you're going to get a tax cut. They're going to make, they're going to be better off. But those poorest communities who actually depend on these programs that he's now cutting, who depend on Obamacare, such as it is, right? It could have been even better if their governors expanded Medicaid, but I digress. It's a whole different conversation. The people who need it the most are people who voted for him. And here Donald Trump is doing what a classic Republican does. They do for the wealthiest, and not only don't give a ladder up for the poorest, but they take actions that directly harm the most marginalized and the poorest. We may complain about the Democratic Party's willingness to never do anything to change the structure, right? But here, Donald Trump and his Republican Party are doing the quintessential Republican thing, which is we're going to give tax breaks to the wealthiest and we're going to make the poorest pay for it. And what does he say to it? He says, oh, I know. I mean, how many ways can we say, congratulations, you guys played yourselves tremendously here.